Hey guys, what's up? It's Ashley over at BoardCo, and we're super lucky today. We have Chris from Radar Ronix, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about some wakeboard technology. So Chris, can you kind of go over the rocker styles really quick of these boards?
Sure. We offer really three different styles. We do a continuous rocker, which is one smooth, consistent arc from tip to tail. We do what's called a three-stage, which has a center arc and then a tip and tail arc. And what that does is it actually has a steeper exit angle in the tip and tail. So as you take off, it gives you more direct pop up. And then we also have what we call a hybrid, where we actually have a continuous rocker blended with a three-stage rocker. We do that in two different styles to actually give speed to one board, slow one board down, give a little bit more pop for one board. And then one style is also just for a more consistent pop off the wake.
Awesome. And then with all of these different rocker styles, why would a rider choose to, say, use a continuous over a three-stage? What makes one better for a different rider style?
That really comes down to preference. So some of the ways to kind of look at it is a continuous rocker, again, is going to be more smooth and consistent, but they are faster because they do have more surface area in the water. So something like the Parks right here, I'm going to put this in my pocket, see if this works, is a continuous rocker board. So again, it's one smooth arc from tip to tail. This board is designed to be extremely fast. And why? We want something that's going to be really fast towards the wake. So when we hit the wake, it may not abruptly pop you up, but it'll give a good, decent angle and take you farther out into the wake or over the wake into the flats. When you get to something like the Supreme, which is a hybrid, what we've done on this board is actually do a continuous rocker down the belly of the board, and then along the rail we do a three-stage rocker. And why do we do that? As we're edging towards the wake, we want that nice, fast, continuous rocker, but right when we hit the wake, we actually want a little bit more of a steeper exit angle. So we do a three-stage on the rail, so it actually, as it takes off, it's gonna go a little bit steeper off the wake. And then you look at like the one shape. This board is what we call a true three-stage. So we do have a center piece and then an extended angle tip and tail, which has a steeper exit angle. So as I'm cutting towards the wave and I take off the wake, it's actually going to be at a steeper angle, so I get more height compared to distance. So someone who's looking to go out in the flats, be kind of playful, fast, you're going to look for something like a continuous. Someone gets a little bit more aggressive, but still kind of that nice and fast board, you'll look at a hybrid. And if you're really looking for direct pop, steep pop into the air for an invert, for a grab, even for a spin, you want to go with a three-stage rocker. Perfect.
And then just a quick touch on, I know that these two over here are your guys' Blackout technology, and then we kind of have your Modella core and the Supreme. Why should someone pick a Blackout over your other cores?
The Modella core, we do run in the Parks. We do an Aircore 3 in the Supreme. Very similar in the fact that they're CNC core cut, but we start to get a little bit lighter and a little bit stiffer. As you get a little bit stiffer, as you actually start to flex the board, it's going to give you that energy back more. So a Parks is going to be a little bit more forgiving. Once you get to Supreme, a little bit stiffer, but then you jump to the Blackouts. And the Blackouts really kind of look into or take advantage of two different things. The material that we use in the Blackout core, not really told to the public, but it's actually a foam that we use. It's a really high-end foam that actually has more air to it, and it's actually, if you look under a microscope, it looks like Swiss cheese. And what that does is it actually, again, air, so it cuts out some material, so it makes it lighter, but it also gives it some structure or stiffness to it, kind of like a skeleton in a body. And then we also do pre-tension glass in this. So the best way to think about that is that actually we've taken the glass and actually stretched it before it actually gets pressed in there. And the reason why we do that is we've actually created that start of the energy release. So by stretching it out, that fabric is already ready to give you your pop back or your release back. So it'll just give you a more abrupt, stronger pop off the wake, and it'll also absorb a little bit heavier of a landing.
Well, thank you so much, Chris. That is super helpful about these wakeboards. And if you guys have any more questions, feel free to give us a call or look us up online, and we'd love to talk more about any of these or any other Ronix boards.